Oh, go ahead.
Hey, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on where you're at as you're tuning in to us right now. I'm Dr. Pepper Doge Richard, and with me, or I am with.
I'm the Dr. Pepper teacher, Zach. Um, and yesterday we talked about things you regret. I'm going to add to that list. I just had some French fries from Chick-fil-A, and I kind of rubbed my eye, and that salt is burning.
Oh,
Oh, praise the Lord. Oh,
definitely a regret, but I
oh
mean,
yeah,
the silver lining is you got to eat some Chick fil A waffle fries. So,
this is true. And I got the final Chick-fil-A Classic Cup. Didn't get a gold cup, but I got the all four of the Classic Cups. I don't know if you've been collecting any of those at all.
nah, I hadn't been.
I figured it'd be a fun way to drink my Dr. Pepper and promote Chick-fil-A and Dr. Pepper at the same time. Get a bigger audience.
Right. Especially be caught drinking out of one of those Chick fil A cups on a Sunday. That definitely stands out.
Oh yeah. How'd you get that? Well, I know a guy. But this is the PepperPack podcast, and we're back for another episode of the Pondering Pepper. So we just like to ask some questions, chat, drink some Dr. Pepper. But I need some Dr. Pepper before we can do any of that.
I was about to say, all that talk about drinking Chick fil A and Dr. Pepper has me thirsty.
Mm-hmm. Uh, ready? 1,
2.
23. Oh no. This is like my greatest fear. I got an empty can.
I think we did the same thing. I also have an empty can.
What? This is like the Twilight Zone worst nightmare. Let me check. Oh, okay. Got another. Let's
Give
do
us
this
that,
again.
that great sound.
Yeah. 1, 2,
2.
23. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What do you got?
No, you're
America.
good. You're good.
1,
2.
23. I wasn't sure if you're going to be ready for it. No, it's funny now because my students have been watching, and so they know how I count down. So whenever they see me grab a can, I hear them in the background going, 1, 2, 23. And I'm like, all right, y'all, good job. Can't give you extra credit, but I can give you a high five.
That's great. Yeah, I was wondering what's happening when you picked up your can. I was like, man, that sounds very, very hollow. But surely I can't be the only one with an empty Dr. Pepper right now.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. I had to um, enhance the question for tonight.
It was
And you
very well
might be
done.
wondering, what is tonight's question? Well, since you asked, I'll be happy to tell you. Tonight's Pondering Pepper question for February 27th, 2026. I can't believe it's almost already March. Our 58th question of the year. Has your greatest fear ever come true? Well, if you are a Dr. Pepper lover, we know you as the Pepper, and you've ever grabbed a Dr. Pepper, opened it, and it was empty, that may be your greatest fear.
That's a pretty
Or
big fear.
some of you may have experienced this, because I know my phone blew up when this news was shared. And I love that people know me as the Dr. Pepper guy that knows everything, because you probably got a lot of these text messages too. When there was a lawsuit or whatever, and they started bringing back Pib Extra,
Hmm.
and I think that was the Southwest states. They're like, is Dr. Pepper really closing? Is it Dr. Pepper ending? And like, we know you would know.
We'd be the first people to tell you about it for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be rough if we were in a world with no more Dr. Pepper.
Oh man, I would
Um,
be very sad.
yeah, as far as the question for has your greatest fear ever come true? My quick gut response is going to be no, because one, I at in this very moment I don't truly know what my greatest fear would be, and then two, growing up from being a child, teenager, young adult, middle aged adult, whatever, um, that level of fears that you have progresses through life. So fears are always going to just expound upon each other and just get greater and greater each time. Yes, I've had some fears that come true,
Mhm.
and I've had many more fears that have not ever even remotely come true.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and I always hear that you're you kind of attract what you're afraid of. Like it's just you see it. So I
Mhm.
just want everybody to know I am deathly afraid of my bills all being paid for and taken care of, and my bank account being substantially larger than it is, and my vehicles working and not having any problems.
Man, that's a really good fear. Like just key in on that. Focus on it completely, you know.
So scared of running out of Dr. Pepper that I'm scared of Dr. Pepper. I think ah I can't not put it down.
That was too good.
Hmm. No. I think my some of my greatest fears. Growing up, I was terrified of spiders, and my dad loves to remind people of that. Because when I was like probably 4 or 5, my brother and I had a bunk bed. I was on the top bunk, and I had one of those like Fisher Price yellow flashlights that had like the different like slide colors, or like yellow or
Mhm.
green or whatever. And I had that up in my headboard, and I felt something. I was used to sleep with my hands on top of my pillow, and something was like touching my hand, and it woke me up. So I couldn't see anything. So I got my flashlight shining on my hand, and there was a daddy long leg on my hand.
Oof.
So like I flew it down to the bottom of my bed, jumped out of my bed, like not going back to bed. And my mom was like, "Go to bed." I changed your sheets. I checked. I can't find it anywhere. My brother, he's about 10 years older than me. Like, shut up, go to bed. Um, but I wouldn't go to bed, and so the story goes that my dad came home from work. He was at a meeting. He was tired, exhausted, didn't want to deal with it. So he was like, "Give me a piece of paper." On the piece of paper wrote, "No spiders allowed in Zach's bed." Hung it on the bed, and I just went back to bed. Just fine.
That's amazing.
Um, and so he likes to talk about that and just like how simple it is for kids to believe their father, and just like on the spiritual aspect of that, like just when God says something, we could just trust it, but or we should just trust it. So yeah, I growing up, I always hated spiders. One of my favorite quotes are: "There are three kind of spiders I don't like: live ones, dead ones, and fake ones."
Yeah, that's fair.
Hmm. Um, Other fears, not so much a fear, just a I don't want to go out this way. I think being burned alive or drowning would be not fun.
Yeah. Mm.
Um,
So much for trying to sleep tonight thinking about that
I'll sleep the same way I do every night on my
on your
side,
side.
drinking a Dr. Pepper. Mm, let's see. I'm not a big fan of snakes. I have some friends that own them, and I've held a snake. I'm just not a huge fan of them. Uh, Clowns aren't scary. They just make me want to punch them. I know everyone's like, "Oh, I'm scared of clowns or terrified of clowns." I always go back to Zombieland when it's like, "It would be in clown," and then he's got to beat it up to save the girl. I can't think of her name right now, but
Right.
oh, now I want it's Tallahassee is the guy.
I just
Columbus
that's
is
it.
the other
It's
guy.
Emma Stone, right? Is the
Yeah, that's
actress?
her real name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her real name. It's the where is she going? Tallahassee and Columbus, and then the two chicks that But yeah, he has to kill the clown to save her. But yeah, clowns don't really scare me, but it's always the people that stand on the street corners. Remember that when that was a thing?
Oh yeah.
People
I
were
forget how
dressing up
many
like a
years ago
clown.
that
It's
was.
probably
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 years ago, and they would just stand. I'm like, dude, I got a car. Don't step out in front of me. I'll show you what a funny car looks like. Um, uh, but legitimate fears. Not that I'm really afraid of it, but I just don't want to. Like I've talked about this a lot. Just wasting time, wasting space. Fear
Mhm.
of like not utilizing the gifts I have to the right way. Uh, I used to be afraid of gray hairs, and then I turned 17 and they started coming in, so I was like, oh, I'm in trouble.
I like to refer to gray hairs as wisdom highlights.
Hmm. I like to refer to it as I've worked in retail most of my life.
That would also be
um, Now, a legit fear that you and I both had, we actually had to live through, was when we received word that Dr. Pepper was ending the Pepper Pack, and our fear of the great separation, where they no longer cared for us, came into existence. And we wondered how would we survive. And I said, well, I spent money on a streaming service, so we're going to do a podcast.
Yep. Yeah, the timing of that
Mm-hmm.
was a little comical.
Mm-hmm. Now, a new fear I have as an adult, being at home, like being a homeowner, is a home issue that I can't fix or I don't have the means to fix. Like my buddy's gonna be helping me redo some plumbing stuff in my house, and thankfully he knows how to do all that. And I help, but like I'm always like I'm gonna be working on something by myself, and something's gonna break, and water's gonna be everywhere,
Hmm.
or an electrical thing will not work right, and it catches my house on fire, and then it's all on me, and I did it, and it's bad.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a pretty valid fear.
Because I mean, I've almost died before.
Hmm.
I almost cut off my leg last summer with a chainsaw. That was fun.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll tell that story later. Um, I've been attacked by a dog, and I love dogs. They don't scare me. That's another thing. Like people, some people are terrified of dogs. I dogs like I've been outside when a dog was like charging me and my friends, and I just stand there and like kneel down and I just kind of grab it and hold it and pet it, and it's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's a dog." Um, my neighbor at one point had a pit bull, and it got into my trash. It got out of its house and got it was into my trash, and I didn't know what was in my. I just saw that my trash can knocked over. So I open my garage. I walk outside. I'm barefoot and in shorts and t-shirt. And as I'm walking out, I see it poke its head out, and I'm in the middle of my garage or in the middle of my driveway. I'm barefoot, and like I said, my knees down are exposed because I'm in shorts, and the thing starts charging me. And
Mm.
I'm far enough away from the garage door that I know I can't beat it inside. And so I pull my legs together straight and then turn around, and he just straight headbutted me in the back of the legs and was nipping at my feet because I was in flip flops. And so I yelled at him, "No, go away!" Clapped my hands, and I just kept turning around and making him so he had to run into the back of my legs and couldn't really get my toes. And eventually he kind of backed up, and then I was like, I got to get him off the street because there's kids and all these things. And so I just would let him go back to the trash can. And I'd start slowly, started walking back towards my neighbor's house. And eventually my neighbor came out. And I was like, hey, your dog is biting at my feet. And neighbor is very nice, apologized.
Hmm.
And I have dogs, and my dogs have got out many times and scared people. So I didn't want to make a big deal about it.
Right.
But yeah, it
I do
just
think
those.
it depends on both the type of dog and then the environment in which the dog is being lived and cared
Yeah.
for.
Mhm. But no, yeah, he definitely attacked me, and then, so I told him, I was like, "Hey, you're my neighbor. I don't have any ill feelings for you, but if my kids were out here and that dog came at me, I would physically destroy your dog."
Yep. Yep, for sure.
And I was like, "It just," and he's like, "No, I know, I got you, I understand. Oh, I'm sorry, it won't happen again." And me and my neighbor, we're good friends still. We get along, we help each other out, but there's just those things that like when we talk about fears and what people are afraid of. I know a lot of people like they've had bad experiences with dogs. And so any dog that barks at them, it immediately triggers that. Where I'm just like, oh, it's a dog.
Right.
Um, what about you, Richard? Any other fears?
Oh, I got lots, but as far as them coming true or not, not really. Like growing up, I was in a coastal city, so the fear of tsunami was always
Mm-hmm.
there. Never dealt with it, but I mean, I
Yeah.
still have nightmares about a massive tsunami wall just
Mm-hmm.
approaching whatever town I'm in currently or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot.
Yeah.
So that was always a looming fear of mine from a young age.
Did you walk
And I
around with like an inner tube on just in case?
no, uh, but yeah, that's a fear I hope
Mm-hmm.
never comes true.
Mm-hmm.
That I would say that's probably my biggest recurring fear. that I've had.
Mm,
I also have a fear of spiders, which I've been actively trying my best to work on. But growing
mhm.
up, probably around 4 or 5, that's when it really set in because there were some other kids that were not scared of spiders, and they would take these. Well, at the time, I perceived them as massive garden spiders. They were like the
Yeah.
yellow and brown banana spiders and whatnot, and
No,
they put
yeah.
them on the end of sticks and then chase me with them up trees because they liked watching me cry. So that, as a very young kid,
Well,
that just
traumatizing.
that's it. Yeah, exactly.
But
And
this is where
then
we pray right
based
now for
on
those kids, and Lord, we should ask that you would bless them with the spirit of diarrhea and give them a chance to ask for forgiveness for how they traumatized Richard. Amen.
well, they're all my age right now, and I wouldn't want to wish too much diarrhea on them because that's also not fun. But
that
yeah,
might
I
that
was
might be their fear.
yeah,
The
I
Lord's
was
giving it back.
I was reading how those with like arachnophobia or whatnot, they perceive spiders as slightly larger than they actually
Hmm.
are because of fear and whatnot. So I found that
Yeah.
interesting. But I've been slowly working on trying to get better with
Hmm.
spiders because every now and then, especially after a good Texas rain, I'll start
Hmm.
seeing the Texas brown tarantulas crawling
Hmm.
around everywhere.
Hmm.
I've gotten a lot closer, just like watch them and observe
Hmm.
them and reading about them. I know you could like gently pick them up and move them somewhere
You
else.
could also violently step on them, but I mean,
You could, but if they're not posing a threat and they're good
mm,
for pests and whatnot, I'm trying my best. But
yeah,
black widows are kind of where I'm drawing the
yeah,
line right now.
yeah.
Uh,
No, we got.
but yeah.
I kid you not. Since I moved to Kansas and bought a house, I have found some black widows here. That the body on this one black widow I found, it was almost on my hand one time, a large marble size,
Mm,
and
yeah, I believe it.
I was like, nope, not today, Satan.
Yeah, and it's so strange because one, like the black widow webs, they always
Hmm.
seem like much shinier and
Hmm.
silkier for whatever reason. And then two, the color, it's not
It's
just like
because they're a
black.
widow. They
It's
want
like
you.
it
They want
almost
to
looks
attract you, and then it's like dead.
it's almost like a metallic shiny black that they have.
Hmm.
I don't know how to explain the color, but it's
Hmm.
crazy. But all that
Yeah,
to
it's
say,
glossy.
vinegar is the best thing to spray them with
Mhm.
for sure.
So I actually, this is gonna be weird. We used to have a ton of spiders in our house, and we had a guy come twice a year to spray, and it would help for a while. We put out the sticky traps, and they're always covered in spiders. I read an article or I heard an article something about I don't remember what it is, if it's walnuts or something. Something. I'll have to figure out what I bought. So I went on Amazon, bought some, and I literally just took them out of the bag and put them in the corners of bedrooms and underneath beds and stuff. And like I have seen maybe about two spiders in the 4 or 5 months since I've done that. Where before it was even after spraying all you're seeing spiders 3 or 4 times a week.
Hmm,
So I was like, all right, score one for the internet.
right.
But yeah, I'll send you that info.
Thank you.
Um,
I would really need that because I end up seeing quite a few garden
mhm.
spiders throughout the house. So much so that I'm like checking all the nooks and crannies, spraying all this like ortho home defense everywhere, and like how are they getting in?
Yeah. Another one of my legit fears is like coming home one day and somebody like has broken into my house and stolen all my stuff. Like not only just my Dr. Pepper, but like
Mhm.
just all my stuff's gone. That would be not
Yeah.
cool.
That is a pretty big fear. I will say, while I would miss a lot of the physical, sentimental stuff,
Hmm.
most of like the really important stuff I have is digitized, so I'd be able to
Hmm.
like wipe
Yeah.
remotely wipe whatever they stole and still
Yeah.
recover my stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, it would still not be fun
Yeah.
to deal with that.
Hmm. Yeah. That I just say the digital aspect. I think like there's always that little fear in the back of your mind, like someone's gonna steal my identity and drain my bank account, and
Mhm.
they always.
I've I've always had the little joking thought, and I've read about it before that people have joked about. Yeah, I could just imagine someone steal my identity, realizing, man, this guy's finances are awful. I feel bad for him. Let's fundraise and give his identity back.
We'll give him some money back. Yeah, no, I've always thought like uh, I always see the commercials for the Life Walk or whatever, and we'll help
Mhm.
you get your stuff back. And I'm like, in one sense, I'm like, that would be awesome to have. But the other sense is like, I don't want to sit here and pay money and give you all my information till you can monitor my information because you're basically I'm paying you to steal and watch it.
Right. Exactly.
But my other fear has already come true. Dublin, Dr. Pepper. It hurts.
Hmm.
Don't want to talk about it.
And that's where we say that don't cry because it's over, smile because you at least had the chance to enjoy it while it happened.
I didn't get to enjoy it though. That's the issue. That's why, like,
Oh.
remember, I've had the real sugar. I don't think I've actually had Dublin,
Mm.
at least fresh. I might have had like cans that were years old, but I don't remember. Um, but then of course there's always looking at the biblical aspect of this. There is good things to be afraid of.
Hmm.
Uh, I was going through, like I told you, with Proverbs with my kids in my class, and how about the fear of the Lord, being wisdom, um, and knowledge. So that is a good fear. So that is should be our greatest fear that we hope can come true.
Because that fear should drive you
Yeah, and
to a
it's not,
certain act of
and
work.
as I'm sure you know, it's not that I'm afraid of it. It's more the
Hmm.
respect, reverence fear.
Right.
But yeah, it should. Which now I say that, I guess then the ultimate fear would not being when you get to that judgment, not hearing well done.
Yeah,
That
that's a pretty big one.
that would be
Uh,
a legit fear.
on that note, I will say one of my biggest like eternal fears for the past uh I don't know how long as I've had a kid basically was
Mm,
that Jesus would return before my kid was saved. Like
mm,
whatever happens, like just hold off. I'm gonna
yeah,
keep pretending or keep saying, oh, this is the day he comes back. Because if
yeah.
someone says, oh, he's coming back this day, he won't come
Hmm.
back. So I'm like,
And
okay,
that's where
loophole.
it's so hard because it's like there's all the talk about the whole age of innocence and if they've had the understanding or the chance, the opportunity. But then that's also important as parents that you, and I'm not saying you're not, but just that we
Right.
take those opportunities because like I've had those conversations with my daughter, but my younger daughter is like a year and a half and can't have those conversations,
Hmm.
and so that's a fear my wife has. Like, what happens when the Lord comes back and
Yep.
if our kids are still here? I'm like, well, I don't have the ultimate definite answer, but I have what
Hmm.
I think or what I hope based on what I've read and understood and studied. I
Yep.
think happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say that eternal fear of mine is gone because last month my son accepted Christ, so I'm
That's
super
awesome.
stoked for that. And as soon as that happened, it's like, okay, Jesus can come back. I'm
Yeah.
selfishly ready now.
So
But
yeah, I've had that conversation a couple times with my older daughter, and we prayed together. And then the next day she's like, "Well, I don't know if I really meant to." I'm like, "Shut your mouth! Don't do that to me."
on the flip side, it's better that they're still like processing it instead of
Hmm.
just like, oh, said it was done, and then
Yep.
never like
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
thinking it instead of saying it later, like, oh, I don't know if it is, and then just taking it for granted.
Hmm. Yep. So that would be a legit fear, just failing as a parent in that aspect. No, see, I always love because you and I talked about this. Like, we have no idea what we're really going to say tonight, and then
Yeah.
it just kind of flows. I like it. Like Dr. Pepper, it just flows.
Ooh, I like it.
Mm. The pondering
Sounds like
pepper,
a great
let
T-shirt
it
right there.
flow.
Have a Dr. Pepper can with stuff pouring out of it and saying "Going with the flow."
Ooh, all right, we can do the pondering pepper, just going with the flow.
I like it. There we go. I'd wear that T-shirt.
Mm. All right, Connor. So since we don't use ChatGPT anymore, I got another design for you. He's like, darn you, Scuba Steve. Well, this has been great. I've enjoyed chatting. I don't want to take too much of your evening. We're already getting close to that 30-minute mark. So if you were able to join us or tune in later, we appreciate that. I want to ask you, as always, please check out our link tree. It's got access to all our different social media outlets and pages. Appreciate those likes, shares, follows. Just help get the word out of our podcast and just connect with other Dr. Pepper lovers or just people that have things that you like to listen to. Um, we have on there also our Red Bulb store. It's got our awesome merch. You can support the podcast that way. My students were saying that they want to buy some of our stickers. I was like, all right, go for it. I'm not going to make you spend money, but it does help us out. So, Any final thoughts there, Richard?
Nope, nothing else I can think of.
Mm.
I do have an idea for stuff to talk about in a future episode or whatnot.
Oh, after we're
As
done or now?
summarized afterwards.
Oh yeah. So don't be afraid. We will be back tomorrow. At least I will. So as always, stay safe, stay caffeinated, be blessed, be a pepper, and until we drink again, we'll see y'all next time.